Hi everybody, this is Steve Ludwig, host of Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture and the Beatles Hour with Steve Ludwig at planetludwig.com. Here's an interview we did with April Hunter on September 23rd, 2014. It's from show number 59. To hear the entire show, check out the menu at planetludwig.com. And now, please enjoy the interview. Our guest right now is known to so many people. April Hunter will be at the Pittsburgh Comic-Con this coming weekend, Friday, September 26th, 27th, and 28th. Before we even start speaking with April, you have to check out aprilhunterblog.com. Boy, talk about someone who speaks her mind. April, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me back.
I mentioned the Pittsburgh Comic-Con coming up this weekend. I know every once in a while you do some cosplaying. What April Hunter will fans see? Will you be cosplaying? Will you have on a costume there?
I do plan to take some stuff up to Pittsburgh. I just got a new Jean Grey Phoenix, so I have a feeling that one's going to end up in the suitcase with me. I may bring a Marvel Thundra, and I'm up for debate on what I might bring for the third costume, so people can suggest it to me maybe.
Okay. I want to let our listeners know, aprilhunter.com, right? That's your website, but I alluded to taking the gloves off, putting the clothes on, taking the gloves off, aprilhunterblog.com. April, I've read your blogs. You're so outspoken, and it's so refreshing. Besides these blogs, my goodness, I would love to see a book by you. Have you ever considered writing a book?
I've been asked to write one. Somebody at one of my classes suggested bundling together some of my travel experiences into
that
they've
alone.
become quite popular. Yeah, and putting it together as an ebook.
Yeah, an ebook is definitely the way to go too. But seriously, do you think there will be a book in the future?
I do. I think there'll be a couple. Yeah, I do. I've just been steadily writing ever since I can remember. I have so much stuff written. So yeah, I think so. With the blog, I promised myself that no matter how painful things were to say, and no matter how truthful they were, I basically made a pact with myself that I would just do it, that I would never compromise on that blog. So
good for you, and
so that's
so
why
brave.
It's so brutal.
Yeah, it must be almost kind of a cleansing too. You know, you hear that so many times that if something's on your mind, just write it down, even if no one reads it. But for people to read it, how do you feel after you write one of your, like I said before, so outspoken blogs and so appreciated? It must be a nice, like, whew, good, I got that out of my system.
Yeah, it's pretty cathartic, or it's either cathartic or it feels like I've accomplished something, one or the other. Yeah. And when you get the feedback and the confirmation, that people are reading it and things do help them, or they can relate, or they find it entertaining, that's really very. It's like the payoff,
Mm-hmm. Someone like yourself, you're in the public eye so often, and I swear some people go on the internet just to be nasty. Do you take things personally? I know you overwhelmingly you hear positive things from your fans, but are you able to let it just roll off your back? What do you say? Does that one person stand out among the thousands that have nice things to say? Does it bother you? I don't know if I could take it.
I think we're geared. You could have 5 people tell you that you did well, and one person tell you that you didn't, and we're genetically or scientifically or whatever you want to call it, geared to focus in on that one negative comment and dwell on that. It's just the way we're made as human beings.
It's human nature.
But I've learned through wrestling to never take criticism or compliments personally. If you start taking too many compliments personally, you start slacking and thinking that you're doing okay. And criticism, you have to consider the source. So sometimes critique can be very useful. Sometimes it's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting you said that, April, because I remember I'm a baseball fan. I like the Yankees, and when Joe Torre was their manager, they went through some, World Series, 5 World Series, and he would say, "How do you keep an even keel?" He said, "Well, like you just said, you never get too high on the highs, and you don't allow yourself to get too low on the lows. You just have to kind of find a middle ground there, right? And you have to know, yeah." And I guess, April, deep down, we know what kind of people we are, so, and you don't allow yourself to get kind of lofty, right?
Yeah, and you can always, at the end of the day, you can turn around and ask somebody that you trust, someone whose opinion, you can say, hey, was I wrong in this, or do I suck at this, or could I do this better? If you need confirmation. And it's like, be honest with me, tell me the truth,
Another great point. I mean, someone in your position, you must really appreciate the good friends you have, that they're gonna tell you what, maybe not what you want to hear, but they're gonna always be honest with you. Must be important to you. Yeah, no, right, to have good friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about your comic book series. Boy, this is another. Talk about a Renaissance person, April. You have so many excellent things going on. Tell us about the comic book series.
Oh gosh. Well, I have several out, but the one that's coming out on the 17th is a new series by George Perez. He was with Marvel and DC Comics, and now he's with Boom Studios. And it's called Sirens. And it is very interesting. A group of women who kick ass. He hasn't done a series in a while, so this one's getting a lot of publicity. And I play Agony, a warrior character in it. You can't miss her. She has red hair. Token redhead.
Uh-huh.
I have my own comic book series called Code Red.
Right.
It is a kind of like almost like a Jason Bourne-ish kind of character in a way. So we have the 3rd issue of that coming out soon. And then we also have an adult comic called Stripper Viking, which is quite popular with the over 18 crowd.
And
there are a few others on the side too. But I find the comics really fun to do.
Why am I not surprised after reading your blogs that your character would not kick ass? Of course, an April Hunter character has to kick ass. Okay,
I'm trying to keep it true to life,
Yeah, right. I'm going to ask a silly question, April, but while you were wrestling, by the way, do you still get in the ring occasionally? That wasn't the question.
I do, but I try and work smarter instead of harder. So I'm very selective about where I'm working and who I'm working with.
Well, here's my dumb question. Did your parents say to you, April, wrestling is too rough, please don't do that? Or were they always supportive, or...
Yes, it did. My mother did. Before I started wrestling, I was a centerfold model, which involves me getting undressed. And my mother had been an art model where she was an artist as well. So she would model nude for artists. Mm-hmm. So oddly enough, she preferred me to be without my clothing rather than in the ring with my clothes on because she thought it was safer. Coming from that aspect.
No, that's unusual sounding, but there's certainly common sense behind that. Yeah, April,
right.
you've been in Maxim, Playboy, Penthouse. What was it? Was it tough for you to model without your clothes on, if you don't mind me asking?
Not really, to be honest with you. I always viewed it as a business. It's not. I don't have too much of an ego. For me, it was all business oriented, a way to promote myself and just take it a step further. My family was pretty European, so nudity has always been pretty natural. It just raised that nudity was not really a big deal.
Yeah, and plus with some of the titles of the magazines, I'm assuming you've worked with some really professional photographers.
I have, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've worked with some really unprofessional photographers too. So trust me. Okay,
I want that to be the next blog, please.
Oh, I've written plenty about some of those. It has not been a cakewalk, but yes. Well, bad decisions and horrible photographers make for great stories.
Yeah. Do you find, April, that when you write, diversity makes it easier for you to write, or if you're in a good mood, do you write better? I hear many times if you're not in a bad place, but it's easier to write when you're angry than if things are going well for you. Does that hold true for you as well as a writer?
I would agree, yes, that if I'm angry or upset or depressed, I tend to write more. I'm not sure it's necessarily better, but I do write more, maybe because I need to write more then.
Mm-hmm.
But the last article I wrote was one that was geared towards human sexuality, and that one I wrote perfectly happy, and it seems to be getting a lot of feedback. So that one was done pretty quickly and put out there, and everybody. That was a real blunt one right there.
It was received well.
Yes.
April, are you? My gosh, with you being so much in the public eye, like I mentioned earlier, is privacy tough for you? Are you used to not having that privacy, or are you able to still have a private life? I mean, it's simple. I don't mean it to sound as simple as that. Of course, you can have a private life, but has it become tougher for you to maintain this privacy?
I don't think I'm as at the point where I have to worry about a whole lot like some of the other celebrities do, but there is an invasive factor to certain things. I'm very guarded about my privacy as well as those closest to me. There are some people on the internet that make it a priority or whatever you want to call it to either harass those around you or harass you or feel that you owe them something. And that gets a little old after a while. You know?
I mean, it's got to be tough for you, the people that just don't know where the line ends, not to cross that line. Yeah. How about at conventions, April? I'm sure most of your fans are so wonderful, but you've got to come up against a jerk here and there. How do you handle that? If you just say, "Hey, buddy, get away from my table," or
I don't come up against too many jerks, but I have run into a few creepy people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
For example,
I'm working under that category. Mm-hmm.
Well, here you go. I'm working with Jay Fife, Jay Fife Art for the Pittsburgh Comic Con. So that's the booth that you will see me in. So just come over and say hi. Now, this is what happened with Jay and I. Actually, I had my own booth at that particular time. We were in New Jersey at the Comic Con. Jay had his own. So a fan and his friend came up to me. So weird this kid was. Oh. And he's like, "I'm a huge fan of yours, and I would really..." He just went on and on and on, just creeping me out. And then he's like, "I would like to have somebody draw me having sex with you." Like really hardcore stuff. And I was like, "What?"
You talk about creepy.
So I was just like, he goes, "Would you give me the permission and blessing to do that?" I'm like, "No, not really. I don't think so." Like I couldn't, he looked me straight in the face and just said that. It's like it just rolled off his tongue. Like he didn't even think anything of it. Like just said it.
Yeah.
So then he walked over to Jay. And, artists, it's the whole starving artist thing. Like he was willing to pay Jay a lot of money to do this. And without even batting an eyelash, Jay was like, "No."
Yeah. Oh, thank goodness.
And I respect him so much for that because he could have taken the money, It's like, it's not like artists make a whole lot anyway. Mm-hmm. So, but he was like, "No."
It is refreshing to know that money doesn't control everything. My gosh, I mean, it's nice, but good for Jay. And I feel, I know you from speaking with you here. I feel sorry for you that people come up to you and actually would ask that. And I don't even know you personally. You know what I mean? It's got to be a tough life, boy. When those things come.
The lack of boundaries is a little bit strange at times, I think.
Yeah. Being in the pop culture field as you are, I'm assuming you like TV. Like to watch TV.
Oh yeah, I love the series.
Oh, I was going to say, what are one or two of the because I love TV myself. What are one of the two of the TV shows that you like?
Oh gosh, I have to narrow it down to one or two. Really? Really?
Yeah, I know, right? Impossible question.
No,
okay.
No, I can't do that. Let's see. Okay, how about 11 or 12? No. Let's see. Homeland, Ray Donovan, Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, yes, okay.
The Americans. Mm-hmm. Can I keep going?
Well, it sounds like you're more of a series type of television watcher, like more of the extended series type, right?
Yeah, kind of. But like I love Nurse Jackie too, and Mad Men. So yeah, I think drama. I mean, I honestly think that we've never been in a better time for television than now. I mean, the last couple of years has been amazing, and they're writing TV for adults now, like intelligent adults, because they're making movies for teenagers. So they know that we're staying home and we're not going out, so they're making really good stuff for us. Yeah. You know, Sons of Anarchy, The Shield. The Shield was amazing.
And you know, April, how they say, oh, there's too many TV channels now, but I think that makes for good competition because you have to really bring it home for people to watch your show. And you're so right. I mean, there's so many fantastic dramas out there, and thank God for Netflix and things like that, because I wind up, I don't know if you're the same way, but I wind up doing marathons, catching up on a lot of these shows that I didn't watch first time around.
I used to. I haven't in a while because I just started writing a lot more, and I always feel guilty if I'm watching something instead of writing. But I do need to make some time. I have a movie list that's just so long, and a TV show list too. I just started the series Vikings. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
I've only been able to get like 4 episodes in so far.
If I may go back a bit, and I really appreciate you giving us time. I know you're so busy, April. I just have a couple more questions for you, if you don't mind. What was it like training with Killer Kowalski?
It was pretty amazing. His name alone opened a whole lot of doors for me, so I was really fortunate. I had been sent. I was working with WCW, and one of the agents there called Jim Ross, who was the main guy at that time with WWE, and he said, "You need to take a look at this girl. We have her on a per show basis, and not under contract, and she'd probably do better with you guys than here." So WWE had me come out to LA for a tryout, and I met with the writers, and they liked me, so they sent me out to Killer Kowalski's. It was difficult to get into Kowalski's without someone sending you there or recommending you. So I was living in Las Vegas at the time, so I basically just picked up everything and drove across the country and moved to Boston and started at Kowalski's. And he himself was a pretty amazing person. He took me under his wing and looked out for me. And I was, in Boston by myself. He was pretty much the only male in my life for a long time, for years, and he would take me aside and say, okay, if somebody grabs your purse, do this. If somebody comes behind you and does this, do this. He would teach me all these shoot moves. He goes, if anybody shoots with you in the ring, here's the pressure points and do this. Like, he would teach me how to fight for real.
Life skills.
He looked after me. I was the only girl in that school for a very long time. So once the guys adjusted to me being there and, putting headlocks on them.
I was going to say, what was that like, April? I mean, not, at the risk of sounding chauvinistic, there must have been, I don't know, guys coming on to you. And forgive me if I'm being sounding like a jerk.
There were,
okay.
Yeah. No one came on to me. There was one or two guys that refused to shake my hand because I was a girl. Okay. And basically, I let it go for a day or two. But just me being me, I would just walk up to them and be like, why the frick aren't you shaking my hand? I'm a student here, too. And like they just, I put them right on the spot in front of everybody else. And that was that.
Yeah.
So. And then I actually stood up in front of everybody. They were kind of pussyfooting around me. I'm like, please, guys, stop. Yes, I have boobs. Let's all look at them. Look at them right now. Here we are. Okay, now that we're looking at them, please treat me like one of you guys and don't be weird when I headlock you, all right? We're done now.
Wow. More power to you, April. That's wonderful to hear, really.
What are you going to do,
No, good for you. No, some people may not have been as strong-willed as you were. Great move with that. Last question. It seems to me your life would make a great reality TV series. What if, hypothetically, if someone said to you, April, we want you to, film for 6 months of your life, would you be up for that?
I don't think that would be my thing. And quite honestly, I've heard this many times and been offered a few times various different things, and I've done a couple documentaries. I really value my privacy, and I'm a different person when I'm not April Hunter. It's very, I don't know, night and day pretty much. And I'm not sure that would be my forte. My personal, my public life is extremely interesting. I'll not fault you for saying that. That's for sure. It's never boring.
Well, April,
and yes, it is the stuff of reality shows. I will admit that. I just don't know if I could keep up.
Well,
with
it's the stuff of blogs.
Long.
It's the stuff of blogs anyway, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah. And again, speaking of blogs, it's aprilhunterblog.com, and aprilhunter.com is your website, correct?
Yes.
And how about Facebook page, April? Can people find you on Facebook?
They can. It's April Hunter Official.
Okay. And everyone in the Pittsburgh area, flood April's tables. No creeps, though. No creeps allowed. Just real fans who know where to draw the line.
Creeps are allowed, just as long as they're not creepy while they're there. I don't mind the creeps. Just don't creep on me.
Levels of creepdom, we'll put it that way. Make sure you're at a respectable level of creepiness. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
I'm sure your fans are the best. April will be at the Pittsburgh Comic-Con. Go to pittsburghcomiccon.com. She'll be there this weekend, Friday, September 26th, the 27th, and the 28th. April, like I said earlier, I know you're busy, and I really, really appreciate you giving us this time. And it's such a pleasure to speak with you. And I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll be looking for your blogs to come. I love reading them.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I know we tried this the other day, and it kind of got a little bit messy, so I'm glad you gave it another shot, and I appreciate you working with my schedule.
You kidding? I'm glad you were able to fit us in, put it that way. So best of luck to you, April, and have a good convention, okay?
Thank you so much.